Today we are going to start with a new chapter, that is acid, base and salt. Firstly we will talk about acids. As you all have already learned about the acids little bit, that acids are the substance which are sour in taste, that release H plus ion in the solution. But here we will study more about it. See, suppose this is a HCl. This is acid, hydrochloric acid. It is a polar covalent compound, so develop partial positive and partial negative charge. When we add water to this partial charges will break down, means they will complete into fully charged. So see, this HCl will break down when we add it into the water. When it break down, the H plus of this HCl will combine with water. Because of oxygen's electronegativity, it combine with water and it will form H3O plus, and what is left with us? Cl minus. So we will say here that acids are the substance that release hydronium ion in the solution. Previously we say the H plus ion in the solution, but the thing is it releases hydronium ion in the solution. Now this is a classification of acids. Acids are classified on many bases. That first one is a source. Source, that means from where it has been obtained, from where it is obtaining. From according to the source, it is classified into organic and inorganic. Inorganic. What are organic acid? Organic acids are those that are obtained from plants and animals, and inorganic acids are those that are obtained from minerals. Organic acid examples like citric acid, lactic acid, many more acids are there, tartaric acid. These are organic acid. Mineral acid like HCl, H2SO4, HNO3. These all are inorganic acid. Organic acids we consume. So that is why as we are consuming organic acid, so this is weak acid. These are called as weak acid. Inorganic acid we cannot consume as they are strong acid. So now what is the definition of weak acid and strong acid? Suppose we are pouring citric acid in a water. So suppose we have poured 10 moles, 10 grams, 10 molecules of citric acid in a water. So only one molecule will be there that will release hydronium ion. Rest all will be there in a molecular form. So weak acids, if we talk weak acids, organic acid, they are having what in the solution? They are having ions as well as molecules. Because they are weak, that is why they are not able to dissociate properly, and they only release very small amount of ions. That is why they are considered as weak acid. Inorganic acid that are obtaining from minerals like HCl, H2SO4, HNO3. Suppose we have added 10 molecules of H2SO4, so all the 10 molecules will form hydronium ion. That is why they will called as strong acid. Means if we talk aqueous solution of strong acid or aqueous solution of inorganic acid contain what? So they contain only ions, not molecule, because they have dissociated completely. So strength is what? The decomposition of acid into its respective ion. If they are forming less amount of hydronium ion, that is weak acid. If they are forming more amount of hydronium ion, that is strong acid. So now we talk about basicity. Third type of classification is basicity. What is basicity? The number of hydronium ion it release in its aqueous solution. The number of hydronium ion it release in its aqueous solution. Suppose it is releasing only one hydronium ion. Mono means 1. So one hydronium ion means monobasic. So HCl, when it will break down in its aqueous solution, so it will give only one hydronium ion. Alright, so it will be monobasic. Di means 2. So when any acid release 2 hydronium ion, so it will be Dibasic. Suppose H2SO4, how many hydrogen it has? 2. लेकिन it will not release 2 hydrogen at once. Firstly, it will release H3O plus HSO4 minus. Then again this HSO4 minus, when again dissolve in a water, then it will release one more H3O plus SO4 minus 2. So this is two-step reaction, not a one-step. Alright. So this is a dibasic acid. Now what is a tribasic acid? That is, tri means 3, hydronium. So any acid who's having 3 hydronium ion, that will be a tribasic. Tribasic, that is H3PO4. That is a tribasic. So again, when it will dissolve in a water, it will release hydronium ion. Then so when it will this H3PO4, that is phosphoric acid, when dissolved in water, first it release one hydronium ion, then H2PO4 minus ion, then again it will release one more hydronium ion, then again it will release one more hydronium ion. Means jab tak it has hydrogen, till then it will release hydronium ion. So overall how many hydronium ion it is releasing? 3. So it is tribasic acid. Now there are some more examples. See first one. This is what? Acetic acid. This is formic acid, and this is phosphorus acid. This is what? Acetic acid. See the structure of acetic acid. Acetic acid is formula. First see formula CH3COOH. How many hydrogen it has? 4. So it must be polybasic or tetrabasic, but it is monobasic. Why it is monobasic? Because the thing is, what is basicity? Basicity is depending on the number of hydronium ion it releases in a solution. But the thing is, number of ionizable hydronium ion, means that can ionize. So the hydrogen which is attached to oxygen, that is ionizable here. Hydrogen that is attached to only oxygen, that is ionizable. Means only one hydrogen is attached, it is only ionizable. Here only one hydrogen is attached, that is why it is only ionizable. बात समझ में आई? That means they both are monobasic because they are releasing only one hydronium ion. Now phosphorus acid, it has 3 hydrogen, so it should be tribasic, but it is not. Beware, tribasic acid is H3PO4, that is phosphoric acid. This is phosphorus acid, tribasic. See the structure. Phosphorus is attached with oxygen with a double bond, here with one hydrogen, and both oxygen again attached with a single bond. Now see here, this is attached with oxygen and only this is attached with the oxygen, right? This hydrogen is not attached with the oxygen, so this hydrogen is not ionizable. Only these 2 hydrogen are ionizable. So this is what? Dibasic acid. Understood or not? Now next basis of classification is constituent. According to the constituent, acids are of 2 types, that is hydra acid and oxy acid. What is hydra? Hydra means hydrogen. So that acid that contain only hydrogen. All the acid contain hydrogen, but it will not contain oxygen, like HCl. This will be HBr. This will be hydra acid. What are oxy acid? That contain hydrogen as well as oxygen, like H2CO3, H2SO4. They contain oxygen also. That is why they are oxy acids. All right. Now here we have studied 2 things. Two things we have. You can say 2 exceptions we have. Inorganic acid basically are very strong acid, but there is one inorganic acid that is weak. That is H2CO3. Carbonic acid is a weak acid. Next, acid contain that 3 acid that contain 3 hydrogen, but it is considered as dibasic. So what is the answer? That is phosphorus acid. This is what? Phosphorus acid, not phosphoric acid. It is phosphorus acid. Next, any monobasic acid that contain more hydrogen, but it release only one hydronium ion, that is H3CH3COOH. Acetic acid, HCOOH, that is formic acid, that contain more hydrogen, but it is monobasic. basic. Alright, so these are few exceptions that we have to learn. Now next basis of classification is concentration. Concentration. According to the concentration, what is concentration first? How much amount of hydronium ion is present in our water. The more amount of hydronium ion present, it will be more dilute. The less amount of hydronium ion present, it will be less dilute. Means what is concentration? How much amount of hydronium ion are present in our water. So dilute acid, in which water molecule will be more and acid will be less. Concentrated acid, in which water molecule will be less and acid will be more. In this we have to learn only this, ki what is dilute. That you already know, dilute acid contain more water, less acid, and concentrated acid contain more acid, less water. Concentration depends on two factors. First one is the degree of ionization, and second thing is concentration of hydronium ion. So hydronium ion, how much amount of hydronium ion are present, and degree of ionization. What is degree of ionization? How much ions are being ionized, total number of molecules into 100. See, basically from this part nothing is being asked in examination. Only being asked ki when we will dilute the acid. When we will dilute the acid, how we will dilute the acid? How can we dilute the acid? So during the dilution of acid, we should add water to the acid or acid to the water. We should add water to the acid or acid to the water. This is being asked ki what is true? When we dilute the acid, water is added to the acid or acid is added to the water. First, this is being asked, and second is being asked. Second question is asked ki concentrated acetic acid is stronger or dilute HCl acid is stronger. So first you see the answer of first one ki how we will dilute an acid. Any acid, when we will dilute, we will always pour acid to the water. We will always pour acid to the water drop by continuous stirring. The thing is why we cannot add water to the acid, because this is exothermic process. If we add water to the acid, spurting of acid will take place and it will be explosive. It can explode. It can harm your body. All right. Now next, concentrated CH3COOH is stronger or dilute HCl. So what is stronger? Acetic acid is a weak acid. Jitna bhi concentrated we will take, but it will remain weak. Dilute as HCl is a mineral acid. It is strong acid. If we are taking a dilute amount of HCl, then too it will be stronger than this concentrated acetic acid. Now preparation of acids. Acids are prepared by 4 ways. First one is by synthesis. Synthesis means direct combination. Like we want to make HCl. So HCl is made from hydrogen and chlorine. So hydrogen and chlorine combine forming HCl. Then we want to make HBr. So hydrogen and bromine combine and forming HBr. Basically they will form in a gases. This is gas. This will also be a gas. But HCl being highly soluble in a water, when dissolved in a water, it will form hydrochloric acid. So basically these 2 or 3, H2 and H2S, these 3 are there which are formed by direct synthesis. Rest are formed by other method of preparation. Second method of preparation is non-metallic oxide. Non-metallic oxide, non-metal are carbon, sulfur, nitrogen. So non-metallic oxide means oxide of sulfur. So oxide of sulfur, oxide of nitrogen, oxide of carbon, that is non-metallic oxide. So see, sulfur trioxide, when reacts with water, it forms sulfuric acid. Sulfur dioxide, when reacts with water, it forms sulfurous acid. There is no mechanism, you have to learn these reactions. Carbon dioxide react with water forming carbonic acid. The one thing you can, that here is a carbon, so carbonic acid will form, here is a sulfur. अगर सल्फर डाइऑक्साइड तो सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड सल्फ्यूरस एसिड फॉर्म, सल्फर ट्राइऑक्साइड तो सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड will form, like phosphorus pentaoxide P2O5. When dissolved in water, phosphorus is there, then it will form phosphoric acid. Nitrogen dioxide. This is mixed acid anhydride. This is mixed acid anhydride. This is mixed acid anhydride. I will tell you about the anhydride. What is anhydride? First is what is mixed acid, yeah, double acid. Because it is forming two kind of acid. Rest all are forming only one. Nitrogen dioxide is forming two kind of acid, that is nitrous acid. This is nitrous acid and nitric acid. That is why it is called as double acid anhydride or mixed acid anhydride. Now what is anhydride? Anhydride means when we remove water from the acid. When we remove water from the acid, whatever is left, that is anhydride. मतलब उसमें hydrogen will not be there, right? If we remove water from the acid like H2CO3, H2 removed, 1O removed, what is left? 1O removed, that means O2. Hydrogen H2 is removed, what is left? Carbon, that is CO2, that is anhydride. Alright. So nitrogen dioxide is forming two kind of acid, that is why it is called as double acid anhydride or mixed acid anhydride. I hope it is clear till here. Now, third method of preparation is by the oxidation of non-metal. Now oxidation means providing oxygen. Providing oxygen, so in our chemistry, very strong oxidizing agent is HNO3. Very strong oxidizing agent means it will give oxygen, nascent oxygen that combines with another substance and oxidize it, means it will that nascent oxygen will combine, it is not stable, will combine with another substance and it will oxidize it. So HNO3, whenever it will break down, it break down in nascent oxygen, water and nitrogen dioxide. So by the oxidation of non-metal we have sulfur and phosphorus. We have written HNO3, that is nitric acid, very strong acid, oxidizing agent it is. So it will give oxygen to the sulfur and oxidize it to the H2SO4, and as I told you, when it break down, it will break down in H2O and NO2, so it will break down in H2O and NO2. This reaction also you have to learn. Phosphorus and nitric acid oxidize phosphoric acid. When it break down in nitrogen dioxide and water. This is all reaction. Iski balancing is little bit tough. So what is the trick of learning this balancing? Either you balance it or what is the trick? Sulfur is having how many electrons in its outermost shell? 6. So here we will write 6. We write 6 nitrogen, so 6 nitrogen dioxide, right? How many hydrogen? 6. 2 is already there. So we will write 2, 4 and 2, 6. It is completely balanced, right? Phosphorus. Outermost shell is having how many electron? 5. Check. 5 is there. So here will be 5 nitrogen. Nitrogen is how many? 5. 5 NO2. How many hydrogen? 5. 3 is already there. 2 is already there. 3 and 2, 5. It is balanced. Alright. One mole is there, that is carbon. Carbon when react with HNO3. So basically sulfur to sulfuric acid, phosphorus to phosphoric acid, to carbon to carbonic acid. But carbonic acid is, suppose here we have written H2CO3. But carbonic acid is very, very weak acid. It will not remain like this in the solution. That is why it will break down in H2O and CO2. What is left then? NO2. Alright. HNO3 break down in water and NO2. So water is already there, so NO2 more. Alright. Now, how we will balance it? Again, carbon, outermost shell, how many electron? 4. So we will write 4 here. 4, so 4 nitrogen. 4 hydrogen, here only 2, so it will be 2. It is balanced. Alright. Now, next method and the last method of preparation is by displacement. Displacement means, you all know, one ion, one substance will exchange their radicals. See, this is the method by which we can prepare volatile acid from a non-volatile one. Volatile acid from a non-volatile one. Volatile means that can vaporize. Prepare volatile acid from non-volatile one. Volatile acid that can vaporize very easily. A small means if you open a jar of it, it will vaporize. A very small of heat you will give, it will vaporize. That is volatile acid. And what are non-volatile acid? That will not vaporize very easily. In our course, only one non-volatile acid is there, that is H2SO4, that can withstand very high temperature also. Volatile acids are like HCl, HNO3, these are volatile acids. Alright, so we have taken a non-volatile acid H2SO4. We want to make HCl and HNO3, right? For HCl we need Cl. Cl will come from NaCl, right? NaCl, KCl, CaCl2. Alright, we have taken it here. Below 200, above 200 also we can give, but there are the reasons. That reasons will be sorted out. Yeah, you can, I will tell you. The reason is this: above 200 here, what is formed? Na2SO4. This is hard crust solid that will, in whatever the apparatus we are making, it will stick here. Stick here. First of all, we are heating it. Heating will not be proper. Heating will not go in a proper manner, and यहाँ पर whatever reactant will be left, that will be wasted. Fuel is wasted. That is why we are not taking it above 200. Below 200, it breaks down in H plus and HSO4 minus, Na plus and Cl minus. So Na will react with HSO4 forming NaHSO4, and H plus will react with Cl forming HCl. Similarly here, above 200 it will form Na2SO4. Na2 full H2SO4 will break down. H plus and SO4 minus 2. Lekin below 200 it will break down in H plus and HSO4 minus. If above 200 we will take, it will form Na2SO4 again, which is hard crust solid. So heating will not go proper, fuel will be wasted, reactant will be wasted, or glass apparatus may crack. So that is why we are taking below 200. So Na plus NO3 minus. Na will react with HSO4, NaHSO4. H will react with NO3, HNO3. I hope this is clear. Now what are the physical properties of acid? First one, they are sour in taste. Second one, they can be solid, and some are liquid in state. Effect on skin, they affect on skin, but obvious, if they are strong acid, they will form blisters on the skin. If they are very weak acid, so they will not form, they will not be having so much effect on the skin, but if they are strong, they can form blisters. Fourth, next one is indicators. What are indicators? Indicators are those substances that let us know whether the substance is acidic or basic. So we have three indicators: litmus, phenolphthalein and methyl orange. Litmus paper will turn red in an acidic solution. Phenolphthalein is colorless and it will remain colorless. Methyl orange turns orange to pink when acid is added to it. And there is some indicators that are called as olfactory indicators. Olfactory indicators, yeah, olfactory substance. What is olfactory? That is dependent on smell. When acid or base are added to it, they will show change in a smell. Both are indicators are there, but onion is the most common for the acidic. That onion, when in the onion solution base is added, it smells changes, but when onion extract is added to the acid, it smells doesn't change, it will remain same. Alright, these are olfactory substance, yeah, olfactory indicators. And the last one is they are electrolyte, good electrolyte. Electrolyte means that can conduct electricity. What are electrolyte? You all know, I hope you all know. What are electrolyte? That can conduct electricity very well in its aqueous form. Now, what are the chemical properties of acid? These are common properties of all the acid. All the acid, whatever acid is there, it is HCl, H2SO4, whatever acid is there, all the properties of that will be shown by these, those acid, all the properties are being shown. First one, metal and acid. Metal, any reactive metal. Metal activity series, I hope everyone knows that potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, tin, lead, hydrogen, copper, mercury, silver, gold, platinum. This is the all metal activity series. I hope you all have learned. Any metal above hydrogen, like zinc, can react with acid. Then zinc is +2, hydrogen is +1, Cl is -1. What it is going to form? ZnCl2, that is salt, plus H2, that is hydrogen gas. Suppose magnesium is reacting with H2SO4, so Mg is +2, hydrogen is +1, SO4 is -2. What it is going to form? MgSO4 plus H2. I am not balancing the reaction here. You have to learn balanced reactions and you have to write balanced reactions. Alright. So whenever any metal which are above hydrogen in an activity series react with the acid and form hydrogen. From here what comes? Okay, what happened when? What do you observe? Metal, suppose any metal is given, copper is given, copper is not, magnesium is given, calcium is given, react with acid. What do you observe? So what do you observe means you will have to write what you have seen, what you have heard. So what you will heard? Hydrogen burn with a pop sound. So everyone knows when metal react with acid, hydrogen release. So you will have to write in an observation that when metal react with acid, a pop sound burning gas, hydrogen release. Alright, this is the first chemical property of an acid. Second is acid when react with any carbonate or bicarbonate. Suppose acid we are taking HCl, carbonate suppose we are taking NaCl. NaCO3, sorry. Carbonate is CO3 -2 and bicarbonate is CO3, HCO3 minus. Alright. So this is Na2CO3. HCl react with Na2CO3. Then what happened? H plus Cl minus, Na plus CO3 minus 2. H will react with CO3, but what it is going to form? H2CO3. H2CO3 is a weak acid, so it will break down in H2O and CO2. Na will react with Cl. What it is going to form? NaCl. So whenever any acid reacts with carbonate or bicarbonate, it forms salt, carbon dioxide and water. So what will you observe here? Brisk effervescence of carbon dioxide. Here you will have to write what do you observe when acid react with any carbonate or bicarbonate? Brisk effervescence of carbon dioxide. Suppose we are taking H2SO4, any bicarbonate, suppose we are taking MgHCO3 whole twice. Now H plus SO4 minus 2, Mg plus 2, HCO3 minus. H plus and HCO3, H plus and HCO3 minus, these all will break down and it is going to form H2O and CO2, right? And Mg will react with SO4, it is going to form MgSO4. So what you are going to observe? Brisk effervescence of carbon dioxide. Now third, acid whenever any acid, suppose HCl, react with any sulfide, Na2S, ZnS, right? What it is going to release? H2S. Kaise? H plus Cl minus, Na plus S minus 2. H will react with S, H2S. Na will react with Cl, NaCl. And this H2S smells like a rotten egg. So what do you observe here? A rotten egg smelling gas, H2S, evolve. Suppose we are taking here H2SO4, then H plus and SO4 minus 2, Zn plus 2S minus 2. What it is going to form? H2S. Zn will react with SO4 minus. What it is going to form? ZnSO4. So what do you observe? A rotten egg smelling gas, H2S, evolve. Next, acid and base reacts. ये आप सबको पता है. Acid is HCl, base is NaOH, or base can be Na2O. That means base can be oxide and hydroxide of any metal that will be considered as base. So NaOH, So salt, so what salt? NaCl, how? H plus, Cl minus, Na plus, OH minus. Na react with Cl and what left? H2O. Here also suppose it is reacting with H2SO4, Na plus, O minus 2, H plus, SO4 minus 2. What it is going to form? Na2SO4 plus H2O. So acid and base reacts forming salt and water. Alright. Next one is acid and sulfite or bisulfite. What is sulfite? SO3 minus 2. Bisulfite, HSO3 minus. Any acid like HCl react with sulfite like Na2SO3. What it is going to form? Salt. With salt, H plus, Cl minus, Na plus, SO3 minus 2. What it is going to form? Salt, that is NaCl. Then which gas it is releasing? Sulfur dioxide and H2O. So this sulfur dioxide is also giving brisk effervescence. What they are giving? Brisk effervescence. So the question is, how can we identify that it is CO2 or it is SO2? CO2 turns lime water milky. SO2 also turns lime water milky. Then what is the difference? That CO2 has no effect on K2Cr2O7 and KMNO4. CO2 has no effect on K2Cr2O7 and KMNO4. But sulfur dioxide has an effect on KMNO4 and K2Cr2O7. What are those? That you will tell me after watching the video. Alright. I will ask you what question I have asked in a video. Now see. Last is chlorides do not react with acid and nitrate do not react with acid. But there is an exception that lead nitrate can react with HCl and H2SO4 to form an insoluble salt. What? Pb is plus 2, nitrate is minus 1, H plus and Cl minus. What it is going to form? PbCl2 plus HNO3. Here PbNO3 reacts with H minus Pb plus 2 NO3 minus H plus and SO4 minus 2. What they are going to form here? That is PbSO4 and HNO3. PbCl2 and PbSO4, they both are insoluble salts. Alright. That is all from the acid part. Read it from your book and then ask the doubts.